Sierra felt blindsided, caught in the crossfire of emotions swirling between Bambi and Amy. Bambi's revelation about her pregnancy hit like a thunderclap, leaving Sierra struggling to process the implications. The fact that Bambi's ex-boyfriend was involved only added layers of complexity to an already fraught situation. Celebrity Insider News. Sierra, who had always championed trust and discretion, was now grappling with feelings of betrayal and disbelief. The air grew heavier as the conversation spiraled, with Bambi and Amy exchanging sharp words. Sierra, though deeply hurt, tried to maintain composure, her loyalty to Bambi at odds with her disappointment in how the secrets were exposed. It wasn't just the shock of the revelation, but the way it unraveled their dynamic. Years of shared memories and mutual support seemed to teeter on the brink of collapse. In the aftermath, Sierra couldn't shake the sting of Bambi's actions. While she sympathized with Bambi's struggles and the emotional weight of her pregnancy, Sierra also felt let down. This moment of upheaval forced Sierra to confront questions about boundaries, trust, and the delicate balance between friendship and personal accountability. The road to mending these relationships would undoubtedly be steep, but Sierra knew that clarity and tough conversations would be the only way forward. Bambi's confession shattered the facade of strength and control she had always maintained, leaving Sierra and Amy speechless. As Bambi recounted the struggles she had endured, her painful past, unresolved trauma, and the weight of her choices, it became clear that her actions, while hurtful, were born from a place of deep personal turmoil. The raw honesty in her words struck a chord, painting a picture of a woman fighting to hold herself together while feeling completely isolated. Sierra's heart ached as she absorbed the truth, but it also left her conflicted. On one hand, she sympathized with Bambi's pain and newfound vulnerability. On the other, the way these revelations were delivered in the midst of an already strained situation felt overwhelming and almost manipulative. Sierra couldn't ignore the impact this moment was having on her trust in Bambi, as well as the precarious position it had put her in as the mediator between two clashing sides. Caught in the emotional whirlwind, Sierra struggled to reconcile her feelings. She knew that healing would require time and honesty from everyone involved, but the scars left by Bambi's revelations ran deep. As much as Sierra wanted to support her friend, she couldn't deny the hurt and betrayal she felt, leaving her to question the strength of their friendship and whether it could withstand the storm they were now facing. Sierra, the anchor in their turbulent circle, found her emotional barriers crumbling as the weight of Bambi's revelations collided with the raw emotions of the moment. Her heart ached not only for Bambi's struggles, but also for the way their once unbreakable bond had been strained by secrets, pain, and unspoken truths. For the first time, Sierra felt powerless, unable to mend the fractures that had formed between her closest friends. Amy, unable to contain her pent-up frustrations, let her anger erupt in a fiery confrontation with Bambi. Her words were sharp, cutting through the room like a storm, unleashing every ounce of betrayal and hurt she had harbored. What once felt like a solid foundation of friendship now seemed irreparably fractured, with blame and bitterness replacing trust and understanding. Amy's outburst was not just about Bambi's secret, it was about years of unresolved tension bubbling to the surface. For Sierra, the betrayal wasn't rooted in the secrets or Bambi's past, but in the overwhelming sense of helplessness that now engulfed her. She had always prided herself on being the protector, the glue holding everyone together. Yet, with emotions spiraling and friendships unraveling before her eyes, Sierra realized that no amount of effort could fix the damage this time. The hurt was too deep, and the trust that once defined their relationships now felt like a distant memory. Sierra's heart broke all over again as she stood at the center of the emotional storm. Every tear from Bambi's eyes, every angry word from Amy, and every fragment of their shattered trust hit her like a tidal wave. For years, she had been the glue holding their fragile connections together, but now, all she could do was watch as those bonds unraveled before her. The room was thick with tension, each woman weighed down by her own pain, guilt, and frustration. Sierra saw the regret in her friend's eyes, the silent plea for forgiveness that clashed with the chaos erupting between them. Yet, for Sierra, the devastation ran deeper than a single act of betrayal. It was the culmination of years of emotional labor, the burden of carrying others' pain while neglecting her own. And now, with everything laid bare, she felt more lost than ever. The vulnerability in Bambi's voice was undeniable, but so was the anger in Amy's. Torn between her love for her friends and the overwhelming grief of losing what they once had, Sierra didn't know how to move forward. In that moment, surrounded by heartbreak and echoes of what used to be, she realized that healing would take more than apologies. It would require rebuilding not just their friendships, but also herself. For now, all she could do was stand in the wreckage and hope that time would help them find a way through the pain. So raw, so uncertain. Sierra's world, which had once felt steady, now seemed shaky, like everything she had built. Her friendships, her trust, were on the edge of crumbling. She had always believed that relationships were worth fighting for, that through hardship, love could grow stronger. But now, as she stood there, watching Bambi's apology hang in the air, it felt meaningless. The words felt empty because the damage wasn't just in the words. It was in the truth that had been revealed, something so deep and personal that it couldn't easily be undone. Sierra wiped at her tears, trying to find some semblance of control, but the ache inside her wouldn't relent. She felt torn, caught between her loyalty to Bambi, the friend who had always been by her side, and the raw, unrelenting pain of betrayal. Bambi had exposed a part of herself that Sierra had never known existed, a side that felt like a stranger now. And with that revelation came confusion. How could she reconcile the person she thought she knew with the woman who had kept such heavy secrets hidden for so long? The air around her grew heavy, suffocating, as if the space itself couldn't contain the weight of their broken trust. Everything they had built together, those shared memories, the laughter, the support, now felt distant, like something they had lost, something they could never fully reclaim. Sierra's heart pounded as she realized that what once seemed unshakable could be torn apart so easily, leaving her to wonder if the friendships she had once relied on could ever heal. As Sierra took a deep breath, she could feel the emotional storm raging within her. For so long, she had been the one who carried the weight of her friends' burdens, always the one offering support, the shoulder to lean on, the person who kept everyone's secrets safe. But now, she couldn't ignore the reality that those same friendships had unraveled in front of her, leaving her feeling exposed and raw. The anger simmered beneath her surface. Anger at Bambi for keeping so many hidden truths, for letting that door open and forcing them all into this painful reckoning. She had trusted Bambi, believed in their bond, only to have that trust shattered in one explosive moment. And then, the frustration she felt toward herself, a bitter realization that she had missed the signs, that she hadn't seen the cracks forming sooner. How could she have been so blind? How had she let herself be so vulnerable? Sierra's mind raced with a whirlwind of emotions: hurt, betrayal, frustration, each one pulling her in different directions. The life she had worked so hard to cultivate, the friendships that had once felt like a refuge, were slipping away, and she couldn't stop it. She knew deep down that things between her and Bambi, between her and Amy, would never be the same again. The trust that once held them together was fractured beyond repair,